VMware Workspace ONE Intelligent Hub allows you to securely stay connected and be productive from anywhere and on any device. No matter where you are, Workspace ONE Intelligent Hub has you covered. Consistent user experience across all devices. On board with single sign-on. Get key update notifications. Access corporate directory. Employee details and organization chart. Stay connected to corporate resources from anywhere. Built for the user, VMware Workspace ONE Intelligent Hub provides employees with everything they need in a single app. Learn more at vmware.com/products/workspace1.
Hello everyone, my name is Rayan Abi Ghanem. I'm a solution engineer for the digital workspace here at VMware, and I want to welcome you to this webinar part of the Tech Talk series. We are running these webinars to provide you with the best practices, the best tools in order to have a successful business continuity and to stay successful and productive in these times. I encourage you to join my webinar and the coming ones. Invite your friends, your colleagues. There are really interesting topics coming on in the following weeks as well. If you have any questions, after this we have a live Q&A. You can ask me any questions you'd like. And if you want us to follow up, there's a contact us form that you can fill it. It's here somewhere. You can click on it and then you can join and we can call you back, sorry. First and foremost, I would like to hope everybody is safe. All your families are safe. You're not really impacted by this. And you're staying confined and happy. If I look at work styles in the companies and organization, we have a lot of different work styles. We have people that are working, they come to the office, they work behind the desktop, then they go. We have others that are a bit mobile. They go work from the cafe, sometimes from the office, sometimes from the airports. Those that travel a lot, they work from hotels, public networks. So all of this has recently changed and we're all now kind of remote workers, or at least we need the possibility to be able to do our work remotely. If I want to do a successful remote work, right, I need to look at three areas. First, the company culture. Do I have the right policies set in place for my employees to be able to be successfully working from home? From an employee perspective, do my employees have the right tools to work from home? Maybe a screen at least, or a quiet space where they can work. And the third pillar is the technology. I'm providing them with the right tools and technology so they can achieve their work in a simple and efficient manner. And definitely this is where we can help you as VMware on the technology aspect. Today you might have some point solutions, right? You might have a VPN here or a VDI there. So you have like these silos, different silos to enable the digital workspace. What we need to provide you is a unified platform to allow you to break the silos in a manner of managing all application devices and tools in a unified way to reduce cost, increase security, increase the user experience as well. At the end of the day, we're responding to a really simple question. How can I provide access to all my employees to their right application in a secure manner with a simple user experience? And user experience is really critical. And why is that? If the user experience is good, the employee will tend to be more engaged, and more engaged employee means more productive, and obviously more productive employees mean better business outcome. There's a lot of research is done on this remote work, and this is not something new, right? Remote working has been there for a few years now, and it's a good news because we're kind of used to it. We've seen it in companies that are really successful in remote for work. Others have not embraced it yet, but it's something really helpful and beneficial for the organization. So if you look at, there is a lot of studies from IDC, from Forbes, that shows you exactly that giving the flexibility and the freedom of people to work from anywhere results in happy employees, and happy employees are more engaged, more productive, and eventually you get better return over investment for these companies that have enabled or embraced this work style. So how can I make sure that my remote employees are having a great user experience and having an engaged experience? So first and foremost, I need to be able to provide them a flexibility to choose whatever device they would like to work on. Some of us would like to work on a Windows device, others would like maybe use a Mac because they're used to it. Maybe I like iPhones, you would like, for example, Android or Samsung devices. So having this flexibility to use the tool that I would like, that I'm familiar with, will make me obviously more comfortable in using it and more happy in using this product. So device choice is really important. So we need the right tool that allow us to provide this flexibility to our employees. Second, we need to make sure that our employees are productive from day one. I don't want them to be waiting on IT to provision a device, to image it, to configure it, to secure it before they can give it to them. This maybe take a while, right? Same for application. Imagine they wait 5 days to receive an application that they need to do their work. So day one productivity is another aspect that we really need to look into. Third, really important one is the self-service. So we need to give them a self-service portal where every employee can go access the right application, the business apps that he needs in a secure manner, and to have this consistent experience across any device. Today he goes on his laptop, he wants to access all his business application, then he decides he needs to take his device or his phone. So we need to give them this consistent user experience across all devices in order to choose the right application to do their daily tasks. And obviously all of this needs to happen within a secure platform, a secure framework to allow us to do all of this securely. So this is where VMware has been investing a lot over the years, and we have what we call Workspace ONE, which is a platform to allow you to provide a really consistent user experience, super simple user experience for all your employees to access their corporate applications, their corporate resources across any device in a secure and a safe manner. Workspace ONE, has multiple functionalities, and the main one is the UEM part, basically where it allows you to holistically manage all type of endpoints from a central console where you can secure, manage, configure remotely any type of endpoints. When I say any type of endpoint, I mean laptops, desktops, phones, tablets, smart glasses, ruggedized devices, anything really. From an operating system perspective, Android, Mac OS, Windows 10, iOS, and so on. And most importantly as well, all of this, we can manage all type of ownerships, right? So when we call ownership or use cases, right? You might have some employees that would do BYO, they will use their own devices to access corporate resources. Others, we will provide them with the laptops or we'll provide them with the mobile. So these would be your corporate devices, or there's other use cases that we're not going to discuss, but all of them can be managed centrally from one single console. And all the life cycle of these endpoints can be managed right from the onboarding to patching, configuration to retirement of these devices. So this is one of the key features of Workspace ONE. If I look at provisioning, you have maybe two cases usually, right? Either I want to provide the work device to my, or it could be a PC or a mobile, to my employee. This is scenario one, okay? I need to leverage how can I provision and make sure this device is productive, or this user is productive on this device from day one. So I need to leverage an IT-driven provisioning we call it, we have, for example, OEM factory provisioning. That means, for example, let's say you take a Dell laptop, you take your Dell laptop, and from factory, it's already pre-registered in Workspace ONE, and I can directly ship the device to my user. And the minute he turns it on, he puts his credential, and boom, he gets all his configuration, update, patching, everything remotely, and he's ready to work, right? Otherwise, let's say Dell, you're not using a Dell device. If you take, for example, any Windows device or an iOS, they have operating system features that are similar to the factory provisioning. For example, they call it DEP for Apple, or Autopilot, or Zero Touch for Android. So we can leverage these to configure and to configure remotely these devices, onboard them, and make sure they are productive from day one. Another scenario is where your users already have the devices, right? Maybe it's their own personal device, or they took their devices with them from the offices. These could be PC, mobile. So we need to give them as well the choice. If you're using your personal device, maybe you just want to do what we call a hub enrollment. Basically, you just access this corporate app catalog where you have access securely to your corporate application. On top of it, you can maybe do a full user enrollment where you can scan a QR code and automatically get access to more and more features inside this hub catalog. If I focus a little bit more here on the dropship to employee, so this modern provisioning and deployment, usually, what's the process? The process, you go and buy, let's say, a laptop from the factory. It goes to your distributor, to your integrator. It reaches your IT. IT team will work on it, configure it, image it, and then give it to the end user. There's a lot of steps that it takes a lot of time. So with modern provisioning, what do? We just ship it from the factory directly to the end user. So we skip all of these traditional steps where we have to configure it, image it, and then take it to IT. Then IT needs to give it to the end user, right? Especially these days when maybe everybody is remotely working. So how can they come to IT? I need to ship it from the factory to IT, then from IT to my end user. It takes more time, right? So when I ship it directly from factory to the end user, I save a lot on the time, on the effort, and I reduce cost. So it's really important to think about this option when you're shipping brand new devices to your users. Obviously, once we have the devices, when we provision them, we need to provide them access to what we call the unified workspace. This is your single app catalog where you have access to all your corporate resources. And I may say corporate resources, obviously I'm talking web applications, SaaS application, internal apps, virtual apps. Basically any type of application will sit here in this app catalog. This app catalog, it's a native experience on all type of devices, and it's consistent. Whatever device I use, today I'm using my laptop, I'm using my phone, I'm using my browser, however I'm accessing this portal, I'm always seeing the same user experience, the same apps that are allowed for me to use, I will use them. And I can do single sign-on. So this is really important. It helps the user experience. When I click on every application, instead of remembering every app, I'm using a single sign-on mechanism and to access these applications. If, for example, I want to elevate some authentication because of specific app requirement, let's say one app is super important, I will use, for example, two-factor authentication. When somebody clicks on this application, if he's using a non-compliant device or a non-registered, I don't know what's the status of the device, maybe I will prevent him from accessing. But if the user is accessing this strict application from a compliant device, but he's accessing it from home, maybe I will require him to do a two-factor authentication. So I have the full flexibility to define the authentication mechanism, or to simplify the life, or to increase a bit the security for each and every application that I choose of, all within this unified workspace. Along with the unified workspace, right, as an employee, I need access to application to do my daily work, right? Maybe I need some productivity applications. I want to send emails, from my phone. I want to send emails from my tablet. So we provide you with a set of productivity apps that are secure and super easy to use, right? So we've invested a lot in the security and in the user experience of these apps to match with our objective. So as a user, if you need to read your email, get access to your corporate contact, corporate calendar, you go and you log on to your Boxer client. It's a containerized app. Everything is secure. You get access to your calendar, contacts, attachment, all within this application. If you need to access an internal ERP or an internal intranet portal, you get your web browser. You open web, which is the browser, and you automatically, seamlessly through the tunnel access your internal applications, your internal web server, all seamlessly for the end user. So as an end user, I don't have to open another app, launch another tunnel. It's all done for me transparently. So the user experience is still great in this scenario. I don't have to configure anything extra. I want to access a file that is sitting internally on the file share that usually I need a full VPN to access it, or I need to be in the office. I can use content. The content app, again, is a containerized app where I can access all my file repositories, my file shares, my SharePoints sitting on premise or sitting in the cloud, all from within this secure application. And how do I access this? Basically, built in our solution, we have what we call a tunnel, which is PerApp Tunnel. So basically, this PerApp Tunnel is a bit different than your traditional VPN, where we can select only the application that can use this tunnel. So not when the traditional VPN, everything, if you open a tunnel, maybe everything will be able to leverage this tunnel to your data center. Here, we only select specific application, and only these applications will be able to use the tunnel. So I'm reducing the risk, the surface of attack. I'm validating that the user has access. I'm making sure the device is compliant, with all the compliance policies that I've pushed with Workspace ONE UEM. I'm making sure the application is allowed, and I'm making sure that domain that I'm trying to access, let's say domain.local, is allowed as well to be on the tunnel. So I have a 4-vector of verification before I allow this access to my internal resources. And this PerApp tunneling can work for internal apps or public mobile apps. So I can select any app and allow it or not to use corporate data. Again, this tunnel is available for any endpoint. I mean, Windows 10, Mac, iOS, or Android. Basically, how do we achieve it? We just deploy it's a virtual appliance, hardened appliance that you deploy on your premise, and this will allow you to tunnel this traffic securely via a TLS tunnel to your internal resources. Your internal resources, as we said, it could be your email, on-premise email infrastructure, it could be your file shares, file repositories, it could be your internal web servers, internal web applications, or your intranet portals, or even your VDI infrastructure with Horizon if you have virtual desktop and virtual application. All of it can be tunneled through this hardened virtual appliance. So now all my devices are secured, right? I provided my employee the digital workspace. They have onboarded their devices, and I need to make sure continuously that these devices are configured properly, they are patched, they are updated, they have the latest application. I need to continuously monitor and check these endpoints. If I want to focus a bit more here on Windows 10 devices, Windows 10 laptops, for example, am I using the right tools? I need to start questioning myself, right? So traditionally, when everybody was sitting in the office, everybody was using these laptops on the LAN, I was using these traditional PCLM tools and everything was fine. But now that I have maybe a mixed access, mixed use cases where people are accessing from home, from public internet, is it something that I want to keep doing traditionally, or maybe I want to shift to what we call modern management? What will happen to these new devices that will go directly to my users that are not at work? How can I join them, for example, to the domain so they can get their GPOs, they can get their configuration? How can I make sure that everybody is updated every day. They have the latest application. Do I know who's accessing what? So there's a lot of new questions I need to start asking myself when this new way of working reaches, your corporation. So with Windows 10, basically, Microsoft introduced this modern management framework in their operating system, which allow you to manage these Windows 10 super easily and simply, like you're managing your mobile devices. That means like over the air, like you manage your iOS or your Android, you can remotely configure, manage, onboard, patch, update your Windows 10 devices. There is no need for you to join them to a domain to do that. You don't have to be in the office. You don't have to do complicated stuff. Basically, you can do from the single console inside Workspace ONE. We have integrated modern management, and you have the full options and the full features where you can manage your full life cycle of your traditional Windows 10 devices. So if I traditionally, right, I'm looking at how you deploy, or you need to first, how do you onboard your devices? You have to image it, right? You give it to ID, they take few days to image it, put their application, harden it, configure it. Then they need to join it to a domain, push the GPOs, push the configuration, and then every Tuesday they need to do the patching. Every Wednesday they need troubleshoot if everybody received these patches, got updated, right? If I want to push an application, I need to package it. It's kind of heavy. There's a lot of steps here, and especially when not everybody is on your network, everybody's dispatched across. How will I know who received what? I don't have this visibility, this real time, who received what application, if who received what update. I need this info, right? And sometimes I have to use a third party as well to make sure that the BitLocker keys are rotated, and how I'm managing these keys is really important. So with modern management, basically, we move to a full management of Windows 10 in a modern way where I can manage all of these steps in a way simpler manner. From onboarding, right? Remember, you can either onboard it with factory provisioning. You can onboard it with autopilot. So you turn on your PC, automatically gets all your configuration. I will be able to push in a simple way all the configuration, okay, be it with your images or your baselines. With 100% GPO, I can fully configure your devices after you just turn it on, right? No need to join it to a domain or anything. I can push OS update. I have full granular control, what update, what security patches needs to be deployed to what users. Should I deploy it from the WSOS server that we have on premise, or should I deploy these updates for these specific users from the Microsoft, directly from the Microsoft cloud? So I have all this flexibility to publish all these configuration depending on where the user is, where he is connecting from. So I don't have to, wait for them to be back to the office so they can connect to get their updates, or wait for them to open the VPN so they can access the internal WSOS server. So when you have this modern management, you have the full flexibility with Workspace ONE to define all of these configuration, and it will be seamless for the end user. If I want to push applications, I don't have to package application. In Workspace ONE, I can take the AXE or an MSI or any type of application and push it remotely over the air to this Windows 10, and I get real-time, almost real-time insights on if this application has been installed, who didn't receive it, why, and so on, and I can repush it again in a simple steps. Obviously, again, security is really important. I can fully manage the BitLocker on these devices, make sure they are all encrypted. I can rotate the keys, the recovery keys, and all again from within the same console where I'm managing my iOS, I'm managing my Android, my Mac OS, and my Windows 10. All of it can be managed from a single and secure console. And if you look at all the Gartner, Forrester, IDC, they all talk about these new ways of managing Windows 10 and the modern management. And this is really, really adapted today to this shift in the remote working. Obviously, I'm focusing more on Windows 10, but again, my Workspace ONE gives you the full flexibility and the best-in-class capabilities to manage all type of endpoints, right? From iOS to Android to Windows 10 to Mac to Chrome OS. And again, this solution is a fully multi-tenant solution. You can have different organization group, different configuration, and you can have it on-premise, you can have it in the cloud. It's a fully flexible solution. It can be deployed anywhere. And obviously, we've been recognized on the market for a long time as the leader. You can check Gartner reports, IDC, Forrester for the last 7 years, maybe 8, and you can see that we've been up there on the leader for a long time. Now, perfect, my devices are deployed, my users are working, they reached into an issue or they have some application that is not working. How can I help them? So I need to think about giving them the right support even when they are working from anywhere. Maybe my help desk team as well is working from home, so I need to provide the right tools so these two can communicate and give the best experience for my end users, right? So it's really important to be able to communicate, and it's really important to be able to assist our employee and our workforce. Inside the hub, we have a capability where we can push notification and push information to our end users, right? Notification is a bit better than emails because, for example, notification, I can make sure it's pop-ups on my mobile and on my tablet. Compared to your email, it would sit in the email thread between 100 emails and nobody will read it, or they will read it 2 days later. So for example, if you need some urgent information about the health and safety of your employee, the whereabouts, you can leverage these communication tool. If you need to inform them about a new tool or a new application, maybe you can as well leverage these hub notification. And also you can, for example, if you want them to run a training, you can push this configuration that will, the notification that it will automatically run when they click launch training, it will automatically launch a training that they need to attend. This will simplify their life. They don't have to go back and forth between training web portals and other portals and their emails. So all of this can be launched through within the hub catalog. Another really important tool is how can I help these guys if they run into trouble at home, or how can I maybe train them on this new application. So inside the Workspace ONE, we have what we call Workspace One Assist. Basically, it's a cross-platform remote control support system. So you can remote control into their device, obviously when they approve and when they say, okay, I agree. And then you can have control of the device, click, show them how to do something or troubleshoot something, or you give them one-on-one session or training on these new tools. Some of your employees will be new to this whole work from home experience. They will need maybe a few guidelines on how to do their work. Maybe scheduling one-on-one session through Workspace One Assist will help them to know how to use a specific app or a specific endpoint. This Workspace One Assist will be able, you can use it on your Windows 10, on your Mac, on your Android, and your iOS. And lastly, we need to be able to securely retire devices. Let's say an employee loses his device, or an employee leaves the company and they never return to your offices. So we need to have the tool to be able to wipe any data that is sitting on that device, enable to lock these devices if we want remotely. So Workspace ONE will give us the ability to do that and to remotely wipe, secure the devices so they can be retired safely without any leakage of data on them. So now that we've gone through all the possibilities from onboarding to self-service portal to supporting the configuration remotely on all the type of devices, we need to look into plan on how to achieve that and how we can help you achieve that. So we can work together. Obviously, some of you are at different stages in their remote work from home and the remote policies. So we can obviously work with you and help you and assist you on having the best policies and the best plan on how to achieve that. Be it if you want to use only mobile devices, or if you want to provide laptop management for people that are at home, or just the Workspace One Assist. So we can tailor a plan with you and provide you the best action plan that will fit your need and make sure that your remote workforce is engaged, productive, and happy. If I want you to take to close this with 3 takeaways, right? Remote working is not something new. It's not something bad. It's something really positive. Okay, it can be a change in the organization. It will increase, and it will increase your productivity and your business revenue. But we need to think about it not only from a tech perspective. We need to think about it from a human perspective as well. How can I empower my workforce to be efficient, to be productive? So if you remember, we need the culture of the company to be there. We need the physical environment of the employees to be the right environment when they work from home. And of course, we need to provide them with the right technology and the right tools. Second, we need to rethink the definition of a workspace. So it means that we need to enable modern management so they can work from any device and access any application from anywhere. Obviously, third, when we think about the first two, we need to take advantage of our remote workforce by providing them the super user experience, super productive experience, and this will help us set up a great business force for success. Thank you.